And we're live. Eddie, welcome to the podcast. On this week's episode of Let Go and Listen, I have the pleasure of speaking with Edward Rodriguez, personal trainer in Chicago, also my brother. How are you, man?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm pretty good for a Monday.
Yeah, Mondays are always tough. I always feel tired and a little sluggish on Mondays. So, but the workout we had in the park earlier definitely helped.
You want to tell everybody what we did?
Yeah, sure. So we're in Aurora, Illinois right now, and it's one of the nicest days of the year so far. It's like 50 degrees outside. Sun is shining. There's not a cloud in the sky. Yeah, finally. So breaking out of the hibernation. And instead of going to the gym, which is the usual routine on the Monday, we decided to go to the park. And we brought some Strong Fit sandbags to the park, and we spent like an hour there carrying the sandbags and just playing around, just moving. So
do you want to explain what a Strong Fit sandbag?
Yeah, so Strong Fit sandbags are, in my opinion, in many people's opinions, the best sandbags in the industry, in like the fitness industry. They come with a 1-year warranty, but basically they just don't break easily. They don't pop on you. They don't rip and tear. So you can put them through a lot of abuse. You can throw them. You can do a lot of different things with them. So I'm a big fan.
And is that your preferred method of working out?
Yes. Sandbags are my favorite piece of equipment besides the sled. Mm-hmm. Sandbag, sled, and body weight is really all you need to get it done.
So let's just jump right in here.
Okay,
so we were talking about last week about the benefits of sandbag training and getting clients that want to push themselves versus those clients in the gym that are just there to hang out.
Right.
So how do you combat that? Because you're in a gym where sales are the goal, right?
Right.
Numbers are the goal, not the people.
Right.
So what do you do to combat that environment? Or how do you operate in that environment when people are your focus?
Right. That's a good question, because that's the main struggle I have right now, is as I'm getting deeper into the human movement specialist field, like that's what I am aspiring to be, because right now I'm just a personal trainer. Just like, I started at this gym a year and a half ago, and coming up on 2 years actually, and I was just a personal trainer with an exercise science degree and a certification, just like the thousands of other people who started in the industry. And then I came across this man, Julian Pinot of Strong Fit, and I was in Starbucks one day, and I'd spent about 6 months listening to his podcasts and YouTube videos, and I was like, this is the guy, because he wasn't just about like what you're talking about, like sales and numbers, and he was about how deeply can you affect somebody, another human being, by getting them out of pain and making them move better. So, I got a little off track there.
Okay, so we were talking about you are human movement. You want to be a human movement specialist. Right. So you're interested in helping people. So at the end of the day, you're interested in the people versus the numbers.
Yes.
And so 2 years ago, right, when you started at the gym, the sales part of it was something that was unexpected for you, something you've never done before.
Right. Okay. So how do I deal with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So this whole time I've been struggling with that, but I'm starting to realize that. So the numbers are definitely important, because I need to pay my bills, and the gym needs a certain number out of me.
And they need to pay their bills.
And they need to pay their bills. The business needs to keep running. So the business side is definitely important. So I just feel like it's too emphasized, where the human side of it, the people side of it, isn't given enough credit, or enough consideration. Exactly. I think it's too much about the numbers. So I'm just trying to focus on hitting enough numbers to keep my manager happy enough so he doesn't want to fire me, and to keep the gym at a level like they don't want to get rid of me. But also, I don't want to get my numbers too high to where I'm losing the quality of my sessions.
So when you are setting your own personal goals, if numbers or not like the priority? And then how do you set your goals in terms of people?
In terms of how...
Like, how do you define your goals when people are the focus? Because a lot of people define their goals by their bottom line. Like, okay, I want to have X amount of dollars, or I want to, like the gym, I want to hit X amount of sales this month.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's another good question. I think it's how does the person feel at the end of the session? Like, do they feel like they're a better person at the end of the session than they were when they came in to see me?
Okay, that's
so
good.
As far as a daily goal, that's my goal with each person that I train. And then more of like a monthly goal is how many of those sessions did I have?
Okay.
So that's what I really use to define my success. Like, how deeply am I affecting these people? Like, how much am I helping them change their lives for the better? So
how do you quantify that, or how do you measure that? Like, do you ask them? Do you survey them? Do you see like if they're renewing their membership with you?
Right. So a big one is, are they continuing to train with me longer than 1 month? Because less than a month, I didn't do my job. I didn't connect with that individual, because it takes about, on average, like 6 months to really understand the principles I'm trying to teach these people. So if they stay with me less than that time, then I didn't connect with them deeply enough.
So when you say 6 months, how many, like on average, how many hours a week are they spending with you? Because you charge at an hourly rate, so that's like 3 hours a week.
So on average, it's 2.
2?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 2 hours a week, which I think is okay. Ideally, it's 3.
Okay.
But I think one is too little. I think 2 is 2 to 3. But on average, it's 2.
On average, it's 2. And
on
then
average, 2.
You encourage them to... You don't give them an outline for when they're in the gym by themselves, right?
Right.
You're a little bit different in that regard.
Right. So I don't give my clients any programming to do on their own. I tell them how to do things, and I explain to them why to do things so they understand what we're doing. And then I tell them, go and play and experiment and try things on your own. Because you don't need a program if you have things to work on. And we all have things to work on. That's the point of a coach, is to tell you why you need to work on things, how to work on things, and then you go and work on it on your own. And then you come back to me and tell me what worked, what didn't work, and then we go from there. So that's why I don't give a program. And I also don't give a program because I just don't think it works. Because people get too focused on the program, which is the what, and they lose focus of how they're actually doing it, which
like
is
how they're moving their body.
Yes, how they're moving their body, how well they're contracting their muscles. Basically, quality over quantity.
And what about the why? Because I really think that when you are working out, or when you sign up for a trainer, let's say in the beginning of the year, like everybody floods the gym because they want to lose weight.
Yeah.
So how do you kind of weed out the why there?
Okay.
Or how do you help people get to it?
This is a good one. This is one of my favorite things to do. So people come to me. I see a lot of people, like you said, especially at the beginning of the year, and they tell me they want to lose weight, they want to get stronger, they want to lose body fat. And
maybe we should pause and explain like the corporate setup there, because when they sign up for the gym, they're assigned to you, right? Okay. I just wanted to let the people know that.
Okay, right. So the way I get clients is I have to either prospect them off the floor, which is basically connecting with people, talking to people, engaging with them. And then the gym also gives new members free personal training sessions. And they try to give them to the they try to fit people with the best trainer that fits their needs and goals.
Okay.
But they don't really do a good job at that. They kind of just have a system as far as numbers.
They just rotate through.
Just rotate through. So you get set up, as a trainer, you get set up with these random people who come to you. Every few months you get a few people. And you sit down with them, you have a consultation with them, and you go over the goals. And so for most people, they want to look better.
That's it? Like that, I want to look better?
They explain it as, I want to lose weight. That's most people. I want to lose weight. So the next step is to dig deeper into why they want to lose weight. Like, do you want to lose body fat, or do you just truly care about the number on the scale?
Right.
Because usually the number on the scale is a very shallow thing. It's what's the deeper thing driving that number. And usually it's how somebody feels when they look at themselves in the mirror.
Right.
So it's a feeling. So I try to get to that level. Like, I want to feel better about myself. Because that's a much deeper goal than changing a number on the scale.
Yeah.
But it's hard at the beginning because we don't know each other yet. Yes. So the trust is not there. So most people aren't going to tell me their whole life story and like their things that really hurt them and make them like sad about themselves. So it's tough, but I try to get as deep as I can. And then I explain to them the goal of the first session is to put them through an assessment to see basically what are you able to do. Because if somebody comes to me and says they want to lose weight, I'm like, okay, that's great, but what can you do? Like, I don't know if this person even knows what their obliques are. I don't know if they can breathe properly. I don't know if they can hinge. Like, I have no idea what they're capable of. So for me, the weight loss is like not even an issue at that point. It's just show me what you're capable of physically, and then more importantly, where are you at mentally? Like, how ready are you to change?
So how do you assess that
in
your workouts?
Right. And so this is where I differ from a lot of all of my colleagues. So I explained to the person, the goal of today is to see how willing you are to do this. So we use the sled because the sled is very simple. So it's very low eccentric, meaning there's no resistance on your joints. There's very low weight bearing, and then there's very low skill. So I could put grandma on the sled, and she would know how to do it after a few pointers. She would be okay. And if she needs to stop, she'll be able to stop. She'll be fine. So it's very safe. It's very simple. But the whole point is to see how much a person is willing to push themselves. Like, how bad do you want it, basically? So we start with the sled. We first we go over some openers and things like that, some strong fit openers. I have them carry the sandbag to see how do they walk under load. That's one of the greatest assessments you can do. Give somebody a sandbag that they can handle. See if they can engage their obliques without blowing out their back, and have them walk with a sandbag and see does anything jump out at you. Is one shoulder hiking up? Do their hips hike up? Are they on the outside of the feet? Like, can they not breathe? Are they freaking out because they've never done this before? So a lot of things jump out just by doing the sandbag. And again, the sandbag is very safe. If you need to drop it, you just drop it. So we start with the sandbag.
You can weed them out from there, and then what's your next step?
Right. Then we weed them out from there. We see if this person is just like, fuck this. I'm not, this is too much for me, man. I can't. No, thank you. So we see if they make it through that. And
do you have some people that do that? They're like, yeah, fuck you, Eddie. I'm not coming back.
Yeah. They don't tell me like that. They try to be nicer and more polite. But they just take their time. They go get water. They go to the bathroom.
Actually, this isn't what I was looking for.
Yeah. Oh, no, thank you. I was looking for something a little bit easier. But, yeah. So
those aren't your people, right?
Those are my people. Those are the people who drop the bag every time. And they keep looking at me. Because another big thing is, I give somebody the sandbag, explain how to use it and why I'm having them use it. It's going to show me things. And I have them go. And they're just walking back and forth on their own in the gym. A lot of trainers I see, when they have people do loaded carries, they walk with the person. And they like talk to them as they're walking. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why are you having a conversation? Like, this person should be focused on what they're doing.
Right.
So that always weirded me out. I was like, that's so needy.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Like, you can't step back and let the person do the thing. You have to walk with them, and like, it's like, just hold their hand then.
Yeah, you may as well. Yeah. So I want to take a minute to stop here and talk about, so you're talking about the people that you're weeding out, but what about, because I know you have a very specific niche that you kind of developed over the past couple of years. So like, what does your ideal client look like then? If it's not the person who's like whose ass you have to kick yourself, right? You kind of want someone who's like willing and able to kick their own ass, just doesn't have the tools to do it. Right.
So my ideal client is somebody who's like, comes to me and they're like, look, I don't know what I'm doing, but I enjoy coming to the gym. I know I need to be at the gym. Like, I have no problem getting to the gym. And here's why I'm here. I have, whether it's their kids they want to stay healthy for, whether they're tired of being fat and out of shape, like they're just tired of being weak, basically. So somebody who has a why. They have no problem getting to the gym, but they just don't know how to do what they need to do to get to where they want to go.
So
that's my ideal.
A why that's deeper than I want to lose weight, right?
Yes, exactly. Almost all of my clients are not weight loss clients because it's not deep enough of a goal.
Okay.
And I'm not willing to just bypass somebody not being able to move well and just have them burn calories. Because it doesn't sit well with me. Like, it fits my nature better to help people move better and get stronger and healthier and free of pain and teach them how to lose the weight on their own. Versus just not teaching them anything, just giving them a bunch of exercises and keeping them moving for an hour, but they didn't learn anything.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a big difference there.
So then can you share some of the whys of some of the people? Like, you don't have to say their names, but just what are some of the deeper, meaningful whys? Because I feel like there are a lot of us out there that just kind of show up at the gym every day because we think we should be there versus like really focusing on why we are there every day.
Oh, totally. I would say it's most people.
Yeah.
I have one client, he's in his 50s, and about 3 years ago he went to the doctor, and the doctor told him, if you don't change, you're going to be on pills the rest of your life. Heart medication, blood pressure medication, like cholesterol medication, things like that. So it's like, look, you got to change your lifestyle. And he took a long look at himself, and he's like, okay, it's time to change. So he went to the gym, and he hired a trainer.
And that was you?
No, so that was my colleague. But then my colleague left the gym and recommended that the client start training with me because he thought we'd be a good fit. And man, I've been training that guy ever since. And his why is so deep. He basically doesn't want to die prematurely because he's unhealthy. So when he comes to the gym, he's pushing himself to stay off of those pills. Because he's like, fuck those pills. I'm not taking those pills.
Right.
I'd rather push the sled because I know that's going to keep me off of medication.
Put in an hour of work.
Yeah, put in an hour of intense work and I can keep my freedom.
And so he's been with you almost since the beginning, right?
Yeah, almost since the beginning. So over a year.
Wow.
Over a year. And it's really cool to see because with that why, he's been able to do things he never thought he could.
And has he stayed off the pills or been able to eliminate any of the pills that
he's totally stayed off all the pills.
Wow.
So each time he gets a checkup with his doctor, his blood work comes back better than the last time.
And his movement is better?
Yeah, so that's a big thing. That's why I like working with people whose goal is to be healthy because then we can really work on everything. Like I don't have to just keep him moving the whole time. It's like, hey, your shoulder doesn't work right. Let's show you how to fix it. Let's show you why it doesn't work right. So he came to me with he had 2 knee surgeries, really bad knee pain, and he had really bad shoulder pain. So we just broke those down, and I showed him he was missing some things, like with his knees, his hamstrings weren't where they should have been, so we fixed those. And then with his shoulder, his lats weren't where they should have been, so we fixed those, and now he's in much less pain. And more importantly, he knows why he was in pain, and he understands how he got himself out of the pain. So we showed him how to fix it.
So as that client has been with you, like kind of from the beginning, do you think that, because I find this with some of my clients that have been with me a little bit longer, I kind of test things on them. Oh, okay. And because you have a little, like, you've established trust, right?
Yeah, right.
Would you say he trusts you?
Yes.
Yeah. And so at what point do you think that changed for him? Do you know when he started to like believe in you or trust your methods?
Once his pain started going away.
Okay.
That's when it clicked for him, like, okay, like I can trust this guy because what he's telling me is working. Oh. So it was like there's no reason for him not to trust me at that point.
And did he come to you and say that? Like, hey, my back pain is lessened. Or my knees have lessened, or is it just like a mental shift?
He did come to me and say, he's like, man, my shoulder pain went away, because he was on the verge of surgery. He went to the doctors and they told him he had bursitis of the shoulder and he was probably going to need surgery. So I said, man, slow down. Let's see if you just maybe don't have strong enough lats or you don't know how to use them. And so took a few weeks,
Right.
And we built the lat, and then he was like, man, my shoulder feels amazing. Like, this is working. So
he's an advocate for you.
Definitely, he's a huge advocate for me. But since the beginning too, when I explained to him how I do things and why I do things as far as training, he bought in from the beginning. After we did the first few sessions, he was bought in. And he was like, okay, I'll try this. So it's just been getting deeper and deeper as far as the trust ever since.
Right. So yesterday we were talking about lead by example.
Right.
A little bit. So it sounds like, for these clients who buy in from the beginning, when you explain your why and then your how, and then like this guy who was like from the beginning, okay, I'm about this. Why do you think, or what sets your clients apart from like the other clients of the other trainers at the gym? Like, how do you think that they're a reflection of you?
The biggest thing is toughness.
Okay.
And talking about people who I look for, mental toughness is another one. And it comes back to the assessment with the sandbag and the sled. Like, I'm going to give you some simple things that you have the ability to do, but we're going to see if you're willing to do it or not. And the people who are willing to do it are tough. It's that simple. At this point, they're tough enough to push through that. And that's the kind of person I want. So when I train my clients, I give them things that will make them tougher. But if they fail at them, it's not going to break them physically. Like, it's not going to mess their joints up, but it'll push them and it'll test them. So that's what separates my clients apart from other clients I see, is the toughness. Like, they're able to do, how do you say it? I don't know. Lost my train of thought.
Just push themselves farther.
They're able to push themselves farther, but they're able to accomplish things that they don't even train for. Like, because the way I train, I prepare people for nature, for life.
Right.
Whereas a lot of other things I see in the gym is, let's prepare you for safety. Like this, for example, if bench pressing or dumbbell presses in a certain grip hurts your shoulder, okay, let's press in a different grip so it doesn't hurt your shoulder. But in my mind, that's making the person weaker, because you're not explaining to them why it's hurting their shoulder in one way.
Right. Like,
let's figure that out first, instead of just skipping it and saying, this doesn't hurt your shoulder, let's do that.
So when if your clients are you're defining them as the ones that are mentally tougher than the other clients in the gym, so then how do you, when you're working out next to the other trainers, would you say that you're the one pushing yourself farther and you're mentally tougher than the other ones?
No. I would, as far as like when I'm working out on my own,
like you're
and
training.
Other trainers are working out on their own, some of them, yeah. But some of them, man, they're just as tough.
So then where's the disconnect in their clients?
Okay, that's a great question. This is something I've been thinking about for a while. Like, why aren't you allowing your clients to go to the mental place that you get to go to?
Right.
The mental place that you push yourself to.
Yeah, that's
why
really
don't you
interesting.
Let your clients do that? Because that's how I look at it. Why don't you let them have the opportunity to do that? Because that's what it is. It's like, when you show people how to push the intensity without physical damage, without breaking, that's like a gift. You're saying, here, be more human. Like,
and you're telling them it's going to be okay.
Yeah, it's going to be okay. Like, it's going to be tough and scary, and it's a new place you haven't been mentally and physically. But at the other side, you're going to be okay. And not even that, you're going to be better.
Right.
You're going to be a better person after you do it than the person who started it. So, and I'll be here for you, but you'll be all right. You'll be fine.
So why do you think, I just don't understand why these trainers don't want to push their clients harder, because I feel like when you go to the gym, and I have done this before, and you sign up for a personal trainer, you're paying that guy to kick your ass and do things and push you to places that you wouldn't normally push yourself.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, if he's going to do, or she's going to do the same workout that I could have just done by myself and not like guide me to go deeper,
right,
then why am I paying this person an hourly rate?
Exactly. I think a big part of it comes to mediocrity. Like, I think the better question is, why wouldn't people just do the easy route? Like, if I was a client and my trainer was letting me get away with like the easy stuff, human nature, I'm like, okay, cool, I can coast, because it's easier to coast.
Yeah.
So if you don't have somebody holding you to a higher standard, why would you go to the higher standard?
And you probably feel like, okay, I went to the gym today, worked out with my trainer, I did everything he expected. I checked all
you
the
check the boxes. Yeah.
You still feel good, but it's like it's a false good.
It is. And the thing is, I don't know if they know it's a false good. Like a false good feeling. Like
they don't know what it means to go deeper.
Right. They don't, because they've never tried. And the trainer has never asked them to try to go deeper. So I don't know if it's a mental block from the trainer. This is what I'm starting to think is, if the trainer's not willing to go somewhere as far as intensity and just quality over quantity, like really going deep into something, and the whole idea of better is better, not more is not better.
Right.
Because that's what a lot of stuff I see is, more is always better. It's like, no, just do one thing amazing. And just do one thing as hard as you can, like a sled sprint.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of trainers aren't willing to go that deep into the rabbit hole themselves. So of course they're not going to ask their client to do it, because they've never done it themselves.
So what do you think that is? Because I think that idea of doing one thing amazing can be applied to marketing too, right? There's so many people out there that are like, okay, I started this business and I just want to do everything. I want to flood all of the channels and reach all of the people. But like, the problem is,
all the social medias.
Yeah, you'll never reach everyone.
Yeah.
So why expend all of the time and energy it takes on a broader scale? Why not just narrow your focus and go deeper with that?
Maybe there's less validation.
Do you think that, okay, so people are getting like quicker validation?
I think so.
Surface level validation?
Service level. Like, if you have more clients, you're validated more. You have more numbers. You have more people. Versus having a smaller number of clients, but reaching them better, like deeper, like actually helping them. So I don't know, maybe. And
I think too, it can be hard to say no to people. Like, from a marketing perspective, if you have a specifically defined niche market, like you at the gym, you know who you want to work with.
Right.
Having to say no to people, which then affects your bottom line.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're a numbers person and you're saying no to business or money because it doesn't fit your niche.
Yeah.
I think for some people it's hard to do that. You have to decide what it is you're after.
Totally.
And like in the beginning, you need to, when you're establishing your brand and your trust and who you are, then you kind of have to like experiment and test with people. But then I feel like you get your footing and you're like, okay, these are the people I want to work with.
Yes.
These are the ones that are hungry, the ones that are driven, the ones that...
Yeah.
Because for me, it's not the side hustlers. Like marketing, everybody needs marketing, right? So whether you are like in a pyramid scheme and you're just doing this to make extra cash for fun, or you're actually the CEO of your own business and you're trying to take it to the next level, like you need marketing.
Right.
Like you need marketing.
Right.
But I don't want to be marketing for everyone. I want to work with the people that like you... They're mentally tough. They're hungry. They have a vision for the business.
Yeah.
If you don't have a vision for your business,
maybe
it's not defined.
Yeah, maybe it's not defined. It's not perfect.
Yeah, like maybe it's not actually written down anywhere, and I can help you with that. But if you don't have a vision and you're just out there going through the motions, like you got bigger problems than I can.
You got bigger fish to fry, dude. Like, what do you want me to do?
Take a step back for a second.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know that when you started personal training, you were focused on the fitness aspect of it. right?
Yes, yeah.
Like fitness, and you went to the Julian Pineau seminar in England. But at what point did you realize that you were also going to have to focus on the business aspect of it? Because I think a lot of solopreneurs, people in business for themselves, are like passion small business owners. At some point you can know, like, just doing the work, the reason why people are paying you is not going to help your business grow.
Right.
You have to step out of that role.
Exactly. So I really started understanding that probably back in August. And
so like over a year after you'd been at the gym already.
Yeah, over a year after I'd been at the gym already, because up until that point the numbers kind of came pretty easy. I think like beginner's luck. I'm pretty good with people. Like, you know,
unless you're tired.
Unless I'm tired, then I'm out. You can't talk to me. I'm out, man. I'll take a nap. So I have that threshold as far as conversation. But when I started at the gym, I really caught some momentum. Like I skyrocketed to the top. I think I was one of the fastest people to hit the session goal, because there's a session goal, which is 84 sessions a month. So I was one of the fastest people to hit that. It took me like 3 months. And then, man, I was coasting. I had all these clients. It was like the snowball effect. So I kept that pretty consistent. And then in August, all those people I had trained, like, man, they started moving away to like different states. They stopped training because training is expensive. It's $100 an hour.
Right.
So they just took a break. So I kind of lost everybody at once. And I was like, oh, shit.
And you're 100% commission, right?
Yeah, 100% commission. So I'm like, I don't have anything set up. Like I have no structure in my business. Like I just do everything kind of off the fly, you know?
Right. Because you weren't running a business.
Right. I wasn't running a business.
You were just going in there to train people every day.
100%. 100%. So that's when it hit me. I was like, how am I going to pay my bills? And how do I get a system in place to replenish the people who I know are going to stop training? Because training is not forever. So that's when I really started to ask questions like, what do I do now? So that's when I came to you for help.
Right. So what was the first thing we talked about? Your mission statement, your why.
Yeah. First, get that written down. Like, why are you training people? And then the next step, I think, was the niche, right?
Yeah.
Figuring out.
Developing your target audience.
Yeah. Like, who are you looking for? And then we started talking about more marketing stuff. Like, how are you marketing yourself?
So what have you done? What have you actually executed? Because we meet on and off now and then, but not like we were in the beginning.
Right.
So I think the newsletter was a big one.
The newsletter was a huge one. So I do the newsletter once a week, and it's like a blog. So I send that out once a week to former clients, current clients, people that I connected with at the gym, and it's just a really good way to keep in touch. So that was a big one. And I have a lot of fun with that too, and I get to say what I want to say. Like nobody has a say in it but me. So that was a really big one for me.
What was the reaction when you first started sending out to people? Like, were people responsive because you'd never sent one before?
Yeah, so people were very responsive in the beginning. I had a very high percentage of people who read it, and I got a lot of great feedback. And then like 2-3 weeks into it, I got some people who started dropping off, and then I got some people who said, don't email me anymore. But I was like, this is great because now I'm weeding more people out. And then there was people who I thought were like with me, who were kind of on the team. And then I realized, oh no, they're not. They don't want to hear what I have to say. So I was like, that's good too. So it really showed me who's in it and who's not. Like, who is my client base? Like, who is my audience?
Your core.
My core people, yeah. Who wants to hear what I have to say? So it was really good.
Did you get any business as a result? Were you able to bring anyone back that hadn't been training with you in a while?
Yeah, I brought a few people back, and I'm keeping in touch with people just through that, who will probably come back to train sometime in the future or when I eventually start my own thing. So definitely, it's a great way just to keep in contact with people who I normally wouldn't really reach out to.
So you had the newsletter, that's one thing, and then you had set some goals for yourself, right? For like the sales aspect of your business, to talk to certain number of people daily?
Yeah, so to start prospecting more in the gym daily, and that's the toughest one for me.
So how's that going?
Not very well. Not very well. So I don't like it because it doesn't seem natural to me just to talk to people in the gym, just to walk up to them and talk to them, especially because we're in a uniform. I feel weird in a uniform. It's like very stiff. So I'm still figuring that one out. So I'm trying to figure out better ways to market myself.
So what have you experimented with so far? Like, how do you get clients right now?
So I think the biggest thing is word of mouth.
Yes.
And that's where quality comes in. Like, if you really help figure things out with people, like, and I think that's what a training session is. Like, you're solving puzzles for people and you're showing them how to solve it on their own. The better you do that, the more somebody's going to be like, man, you got to see this guy because of this, and this. And I feel like that's the best way to get clients, is word of mouth.
So are you keeping track of your referrals?
No.
Okay, maybe you should be doing that.
Yeah, I don't have a system. I don't really have many systems.
Just your emails right now?
My emails. So I'm starting to get better at putting in routines, like things I do every day as far as organization, because that's a big weakness for me.
So when you look at your week, do you have like a breakdown? Like on Monday I write the blog, on Wednesday I send it out, on Friday I do whatever?
Yeah, definitely. I have a specific day for blogs, but that's pretty much it. All the others, a lot of the stuff is outside of the gym. Like every day I make sure I play chess, I read, I write, I train, and then I always try to have certain like puzzles going on in my mind too.
What does that mean?
Like with clients who have certain issues,
I'm always just thinking about
always having something spinning in my head, like what's a better way to attack this and figure this out. And so that's some of the things I do every day. So it seems like the way I look at it, most of the things that make me better are outside of the gym, and then when I'm in the session with my client. I feel like while I'm training somebody, that's the best time to market myself.
That's your opportunity.
That's my opportunity to show my authentic self. And that's a really tough thing to do in a corporate gym, because you're surrounded by so many people and it's loud and it's hot and it's sweaty, and you have to kind of jostle for position. So it's very tough. It's very hard to stay focused sometimes.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I had a meeting at a restaurant and that was hard to just
focus with the person.
Yeah,
you just want to look around. And I mean, it's fun to people watch, so
right.
It's hard to really just engage.
So how do you stay engaged with your clients when they're not in the gym? Or is that even do you do that?
So I don't really communicate with my clients outside of the gym. Other than the blog.
Your email?
Other than my emails. Like, I don't really text them to see how they're feeling. I don't really do much. We communicate on what time they're coming to train.
And you do that via text?
Yeah, via text, or most people via text. Some people via email if I haven't been training them for a while. So,
does everyone you train follow you on Instagram?
Almost everybody. I think some people I train don't have an Instagram.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I think if they have an Instagram, they follow me on Instagram.
Are they engaged with you on Instagram? Like, if you're posting one client doing this, like dying, do they like interact with you?
I mean, they'll like it.
Yeah.
Not too many comments though. I love the comments.
Yeah, what are some comments? Because
it takes so much more effort.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really get them from of my clients.
That's
I don't know if they're scared or what. So.
Maybe they just know they'll be there the next day.
Yeah, probably. But my client, I have a lot of like older clients too. So
they're just not on the Insta?
No, but a lot of my clients in the group classes are on the Instagram. So that might be a better opportunity. It's a lot younger crowd.
Oh yeah, I think that's an opportunity there.
Yeah.
Are those people on your email list too?
No, they're not.
Oh, well, see, there you go.
Yeah, man. Okay.
And you can like link to your Instagram.
Yeah, so that's the next step.
Yeah.
Just to put them on the Instagram.
I think so. Well, so
or the email list.
What do you think about your Instagram? Is it an extension of your brand, or is it more personal?
It's both. It's like it's an extension of my brand.
Are you your brand?
Yeah, I am my brand. So when I first started at the gym, they recommended you have 2 accounts with your social media, your personal account and then your brand account, like your training account. And I was like, man, there's no need for me to separate the 2 because like my training is me. It's like one thing. So like, because my training comes from who I am. So I don't need to hide anything on my personal account that people in my training account can't see.
Do you think that brings an element of like closeness, or is like another way that you can establish trust with them?
I think so. Yeah, because it's like, here I am. This is me, man. If it's too intense for you or it's not for you, then it's not for you. That's it. You don't have to guess. Right. You can see right away, like, oh shit, this is too much, man. Like I'm not ready for that yet. Like,
So do you feel vulnerable when you say like you are your brand? Because I've made it a point to keep my business account and my personal account pretty separate. I mean, there's some overlap there, but right. I did that so that my brand could grow outside of me. But then sometimes I think that I did it because I wanted to hide a little bit, because I didn't want to. If it doesn't work, if Let Go doesn't work, then I'm disassociated. Like it's over there.
Man. Yeah.
That could be. I can just delete that account and move on.
Right. You just cut off.
Yeah.
That could be. I mean, I think there's definitely pros to doing that too, because then you can just keep it business on that account, and then your personal, keep it totally personal. Like for me, maybe there are things that I can't put on my account or my social media because it is too personal. Yeah. So I think there are definitely benefits to doing both. For me, it just seems smoother, and I can think about it less by keeping it on one account.
Which is just so interesting to think about. Because a lot of the small business owners I know, that they are their brand, so they put that out there.
Yeah.
I just can't do that yet.
I think that's fine. I think there's strengths to both.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because then when you have your business profiles and accounts, maybe it's much easier to think about it like a business.
Yeah.
Like much more professional.
Or on the flip side, to not always think of your personal life like a business.
Yeah, exactly. Because you could be grooming your personal life based on your business. Like, oh, it has to look this certain way and this, versus just being more vulnerable and free.
Because I feel like there are a lot of, let's say Paleo MG. Yeah. Like she has made a business out of all of the things she likes to do in her life.
Yeah, so she monetized.
Yeah, which is cool. Yeah. I mean, she's getting paid now.
For sure.
She did a partnership for leggings. So like she has these paid partnerships off of things she's doing in her everyday life already. So but now she's got to post about it 3 times a day.
Oh man, right.
So I don't know. It'd be interesting to ask
Sucks
her.
The joy out of it, maybe. Yeah, you can't just like do something for the love of it.
Right.
You have to make sure it's catchy and making money off that.
Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah. And I think that goes along with like life coaches too, because man, they're always trying to say, like, they have advice for everything. Everything. Like you name it, like relationships, nutrition, working out, like going to the movies. Like, man, pick anything. These people can tell you how to do it perfectly.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you sure?
Well, but that's the thing. Aren't we in a society, a day and age where everybody feels like they have something to say about something?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, we're sitting on here.
Yeah, who are we?
Who are we?
Who are we?
I don't know. Maybe none will listen.
Right. I guess if you just say it like it's an absolute.
Right.
Like you've been everywhere and done everything.
Yeah.
And this is the advice you should take. It just looks like you're on your moral high horse.
Yeah,
like you're looking down upon us.
Right. So then how do you level the playing field? Like with your clients, how do you show them that you're human too, and that you're just the same as they are? Like, do you demonstrate things? Do you tell them about your failures?
Yes, I think that's a great point. Probably something I don't do enough. But a big one is working out with my clients.
Oh, okay.
I'm the only one at the gym I've seen. One of the only ones who does it regularly.
Oh,
like
really?
I'll train with my clients, and like we do the intensity session together. So I show them, hey, this is how deep I can push. If you can push deeper, hell yeah, that's better. Like, but I'll show you where I'm at, and you'll show me where you're at, and then that's it.
And what do you think the results of those sessions have been?
Talk about trust. That's trust right there.
Oh,
like you
okay.
both die together on a sled sprint. What else do you have left to hide with each other? That's it, man. We both died. Like, cool. Like, we can just talk about anything.
So you think they have more respect for you after that?
Yep. They have more respect for me, and I have even more respect for them. And there's no hiding. They don't have to hide because they see I'm not.
Right.
If I'm giving it 100%, there's no reason for them not to.
Right.
They
exactly.
Yeah. So I think that's a big one about being vulnerable is in my profession, which is training, is doing it with the person and not holding anything back and showing them, hey, yeah, I'm way stronger than you. Yeah, get stronger.
Yeah.
Or you can do this better than me. That's what's up. That's awesome. So I think that's a big one.
I think too, like sharing your failures at the right time and place. You know, like I tried that and it was really scary and it was really hard.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because a lot of my clients are doing new things, or like they've had ideas and they just haven't executed them yet. So letting them know, like, I don't know, it might not work.
Yeah.
Marketing, there's no set answer.
Yeah.
In marketing.
Yeah. Exactly.
You could try it and we could give it a good college try, and then it might not work.
Yeah.
And that's fine, and then we move on. But the quicker we can figure that out, the quicker we can move on to something that will work.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Experiment with it. Play with it.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. Telling them, like, hey, like if I'm explaining something to somebody or I want them to do something, like letting them know when I did this, man, I fucked it up.
Yeah.
Like it was embarrassing.
Just being honest.
Yeah, I fell on my face. But then the next time I did it, it was a little better.
Right.
Yeah, let them know, like, it's not perfect.
And everybody is just scary in the beginning. Remember when I started working at the restaurant? It was my third day in my marketing director role.
Oh.
First marketing director role ever.
Yeah.
I crashed the whole website.
Oh, shit, that's right.
And it was like at 6 o'clock. I was supposed to be leaving.
Oh, man.
Doing one quick little update, and I crashed the whole thing. I mean, and we recovered. It was fine. We have new websites now. That was great.
It could have been bad, though.
It was bad to call the GM on your third day. Hey, I don't know who I need to contact, but I crashed the website.
I took your restaurant down.
Yeah. You can't take a restaurant offline in 2018. I mean, reservations, weddings, everything.
Everything runs through that.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, that's a good introduction because, I mean, kind of.
Hey. Yeah. And I feel like in terms of when you're managing people, you want to see that they're taking risks.
Yes.
I didn't crash it and leave and act like I didn't know what happened. I crashed it and I stayed there until I got it back online.
Yeah, because you could have tried to hide that thing under the rug and been like, I don't know what happened.
Right. Oh, I don't know.
Wasn't me.
But so that's like a lesson in integrity.
Yep. How well did you try to fix it or deal with it? Yeah.
How people fail shows you a lot about them.
Yes.
As a person, right?
Yeah, that's the big thing, right? It's how people fail shows you way more than how people win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the only way to fail is to take risks.
Yes, that's a big thing. Willing to take enough risks, because as far as learning, being willing to fail is the only way you learn.
Right.
You have to try random things, fail, and then take the principle from that, and then forget about how you failed.
And that's the hard part sometimes, because that's that little thing that comes creeping back in your head. You're like, hey, you fucked this up last time. So how do you overcome that? Like in your training or
right
maybe just in life?
Just in life, man, that's a deep one, because like you said, that it always comes back. I don't know. Still trying to figure that one out.
I think the best thing is to just put one step forward regardless. Like, you can't let that little voice win. It's like, okay, maybe.
So through action.
Through action.
Through action.
Yeah, through action.
You know what? That's a big thing I like to do with like the sled sprints, because Julian Pinot's whole thing is burn the questions, right? And he got that from Heidegger, German philosopher.
Okay.
And so he read that and he took that towards his training, as because people will ask him like, what do you say to yourself before you push the sled and you know how it's going to feel, you know that you're going to cramp up for half an hour afterwards, right. Like, how do you talk yourself into doing that? And he's like, burn the questions, man. He's like, so when you are doing it, you want to get to a place where you stop asking yourself why you're doing it. Like, why are you putting yourself through this? You want to get to that point where you're doing it just to do it. You're doing it because it's as simple as you're going to be better at the end of it. And so I look at that as kind of like, when you burn the questions, you're burning everything you were. Like, you're going to take this thing from here to there and you're going to die. And then everything you were before, you're going to try to burn that off. And then you're left with something new at the end. Like the phoenix. Right? Use that fire to burn all the shitty things off of you.
So how do you, like, when you're dying, right? So let's say on sprint 8, you're dead. Your legs are jello. Like, what tools do you specifically use to dig deeper in your mind? Like, do you pull on those insecurities? Do you pull on those negative thoughts as the fire to burn? Like, oh, there's still some left in here?
Yep, exactly. So when I still have, like, on those last few lengths, I still have to finish, but my mind is telling me to quit. That, I try to dig up those things that are telling me to quit. So it's like, why do I want to quit? I know I can finish. Right. Why do I want to quit? And you try to bring those things out, and then when you finish, you burn those off.
You just say fuck you and plow through it.
Yeah. You're like, no, I'm good. And you just keep going. Yeah. So I don't know exactly what happens while I'm doing the sprint, but I know those questions do come up. But I think it all starts before you start the sprint.
Like,
or before you start, your mood and your attitude before you do whatever you're about to do, whether it's writing for the day, whether it's playing chess, meditating, I don't know, whatever's hard for you, the mood you have before you decide to start is everything. Because if you don't have the right mood or the mindset before you start, you can't really figure things out while you're doing it, because the weaker thing is going to win once you're in the fire. So you have to make that decision before you start. Like, look, no matter what, I'm going to finish. No matter what. And you have to, it's like a contract you make with yourself. And you're saying, this is what I'm doing. It's like, I don't care if you like it or not, but I'm doing it because I know I'm going to be better because of it. Maybe that's all you say, but you make a contract with yourself and then you don't break it.
That's interesting, because sometimes I'll negotiate with myself. So I'll be like, okay, I was going to do 8 sprints today, but let's just hit 4. And then usually by the time I hit 4, without a doubt, I'm going to hit 8.
That works for people too.
Because it's like I've tricked my brain.
You tricked your brain. Because then you're like, I did 4 already.
But I feel good
what's
now.
4 more?
Yeah,
maybe sometimes 8 is too daunting. So I think that's a great thing, is start with what you're willing to do. And then go like an inch further. Right.
And what's a reasonable, I like baby steps. Like in all my planning. So like, okay, this is the end goal, but like, let's hit the little goals. And then all of a sudden, we've got 8 done.
Right.
So even if I just phrase it like, okay, we're going to do 2 sets of 4. Then I can count to 4 instead of 8 twice.
Yeah.
And it's just like a mind game.
It is a mind game. So I think that works, but with the sprint only lasts like a minute. So my whole thing is like, just do it. Like, just fucking do it. Like, we'll put light. Okay, you want to do it with no weight on the sled? Okay, we'll do that. So I've started to get better at that, where I'll put like a 25-pound plate or a 45-pound plate, and then people get to like that 4th, 5th one, they start stopping, and then they just like give up. And then they finish the rest of them. But the whole point is to not stop.
Right.
Right? Because anybody can stop and go.
Yeah.
Stop and go. So now start to say, okay, maybe we do need to build people up first. So we'll start with no weight on the sled and you'll finish 6. Then with no weight, let's see if you can get 8. Now you can get 8 with no weight and we'll start adding some weight.
So you do that over like a succession of training sessions?
Yeah, every week. Every week, because I want people to do it once a week. And
do you think they're more responsive now?
Yeah, I think so. They're more willing to try it. So, but the first time I do it with people, I put some weight on there because I want to see what they have.
Right. Well, you don't know if you don't test them.
You don't know if you don't test it. Yeah, show me what you have. So, there's no reason people can't push on the first session.
Right.
As long as you explain to them why.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be fine. Because a big thing is like, would you take, like one of my colleagues said to me one day, he was like, would you take a brand new sports car out on the racetrack and just hit pedal to the metal and just floor it? And I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I'm not sure. And he's like, I wouldn't. Like, I would take it easy, break that car in and then down the road, see what it's capable of. Man, I don't know why, but it took me like 3 days to really think about this question. And then I was like, fuck that. I would put the gas pedal to the floor as soon as I got it.
Right. Why wouldn't you test it?
Why wouldn't you test it? Yeah, it's a world-class sports car.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm going to drive it like a Camry. I was like, no.
For what purpose?
For what purpose? I was like, is the car going to blow up? It's not a good car.
Katie's, Stanley and I.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I said her name. Oh, well.
Oh.
Katie from Virginia and I. We have this saying where you lead with your best foot, but it's ironic because really that means we like did something real fucked up. Like we got really drunk and on a first date or something like that.
Yeah.
But what better way? Lead with your best foot. Maybe best is the wrong word, but maybe the most honest. I want the most honest experience.
Yes. Yeah, the most genuine.
Right away.
Yeah.
Why wait?
Yeah, why wait?
I feel like that can be applied to so many things.
Right. And you don't have to be like obnoxious.
No.
But yeah, whatever's genuine.
Just be genuine.
Yeah, be genuine.
Up front.
And usually that's full of mistakes.
Right.
Because that's who we are. We're full of mistakes.
So the same with the car. So go out, see what it has.
See what it has. And see what falls off.
Yeah, it falls off.
Oh man, all these nuts and bolts, you got a problem with your car.
Right.
But if you just take it easy,
you'll never know.
You don't see anything. Oh, the car runs perfect.
Everyone likes to coast.
Everybody likes to coast. So that, man, it took me 3 days and I was like, that makes me feel better about pushing people on the sled the first day.
Yeah.
Because it's going to actually show me something.
Yeah, and it's like a test too on the first day because you're not only testing them, they're testing you. Like, what's this guy's boundaries? How far is he going to push me? Like, he sat there and he told me all of this. Let's see what he really does.
Yeah. And when they drop that sandbag and I just look at them like, okay, pick it up.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, oh, fuck.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You show them, look, man, the way I see you, you're all the way up here. You see you as down here. So I want to help you bridge that gap.
Right.
Versus being somebody who's like, okay, I'll meet you where you're at and we'll stay here. Because it's good, it's comfortable, it's safe. I think that's appalling.
Yeah, it is. It does a disservice to the person you're supposed to be helping.
Exactly. You're helping them stay the same.
Right.
But masking it in a way that says you're helping them because they're showing up. Well, no shit, they're showing up.
Yeah. Because
it's easy. And maybe they can talk to you about their life and kind of vent like they're at a hair salon. But it's like, dude, we're not styling hair here.
No.
Like, we're working. So I had the whole thing about earn your conversations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So like we can talk in between sets and things like that and we'll get to know each other, of course. Not going to talk to you. But I don't really care about your personal life when I first meet you.
Yeah.
Like, let's get to work. Like, you're here to work. You're here to get better. Okay, over time, we'll get to know each other and stuff. But there's so much to try to understand that if we spend most of it talking about things outside the gym, we're never going to get there.
Right.
So it's finding that balance, but it's like, man, show me you're willing to put in the effort first, and then we'll talk a little bit about what you want to talk about so you can rest. But if you don't put in the effort first, I have no interest in talking to you.
I think that's interesting because I send my clients like a questionnaire.
Yeah.
So it helps weed them out, so they have to explain to me what marketing is, what they think their target audience is. And so by the way they fill that out and they respond to that, whether they send it to me ahead of time, whether they wait till we're on the call, I'm like, oh, I already filled it out. So then it gives me a pretty good gauge of the type of worker they are and then the level of understanding they have about their own business. So it allows me to gauge like what level we're starting at, but then also how serious they are about their business and what their goals are. So like maybe their goals are not big enough.
Yeah.
Maybe and some of them have really solid visions, but some of them I don't think so. I think they're too focused on the small picture.
Yeah, right.
And so then we have to readjust because you don't need to hire a marketing strategist if you want to stay the same.
Yeah.
And by stay the same, I mean growing a little bit here or there. Like, if you want to take your business to the next level,
right?
You want to grow beyond what you've done for the past 8 years, then let's talk.
Right. And that's a big thing. Like Stephen Covey talks about dependence, independence, and then interdependence. And then, so it's like, are your goals big enough where you need help from somebody else to help you get there? But are you willing enough to do the work on your own independently when you have to? Because
it's not overwhelming.
Right.
And I think that's the problem with a lot of people. They set these big goals and allow them to overwhelm them, so then they get paralyzed.
And then they're dependent.
Right.
Where it's like, I can only do this with the help of my coach. But if I don't have my coach, I can't do it. Right. Versus building them up to be independent, but then you're there when they need
to check in.
Yeah, to check in, to keep taking them, to help them take up a notch.
Yeah, and I think if you have a good plan, like with their fitness, then they ascend those levels themselves, but you've just put the blocks in place.
Yes, exactly. Right. You help them put the blocks in place.
Yeah.
And then they walk up that thing.
Yeah. They have to do the work, though.
If they're willing. That's where it comes down to.
Yeah.
Are you willing to? Because I can show you how, but are you willing to?
All right, bro. We hit the 1 hour mark.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Okay, well, I think we can wrap it up here. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
That was a good, if they're willing to do the work. It's pretty much the point of it all.
Pretty much the point of everything.
Are you willing to do the work?
Yeah, because I can't do the work for you.
And, I can't either.
And I will not.
I won't either.
So
I'll help you. Sometimes.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, thanks for being on here, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.